Okay. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming to class. We are going to start standing today. You're going to want a couple blocks, and just put those kind of in the front of your mat where you can get to them quickly, or when we're ready, I guess. I'll put mine over here. Um, so start in mountain pose. I did want to read something. I've been loving Donna Fault's book. And so always looking for some inspiration from her as we start class. So start in mountain pose, feel your feet roughly hips width apart, but they can be wider, especially starting out first thing in the morning. And then maybe pivot forward and back a little bit just to kind of spread the toes, spread the ball mounds, and then find the very, very center of your feet so that you're not weighted in the front or in the back, but right at the center. Close your eyes if you're comfortable with that, but don't worry about that if you're not, especially standing. And this poem from Donna Faulds is called Small Contribution. Each one of us is woven tightly in the tapestry of life. I used to think my thread could be readily discarded. One thread in a billion threads. Who would ever notice? But the beauty of the cloth depends on all of us. No superfluous, good, I can't say that word. No superfluous material here. You know the word I mean. No excess thread to cut off and throw away. Every strand is irreplaceable. How different to live as if each small contribution matters to the whole. So that was a nice one to read this morning, as we think, that maybe our small way of doing things isn't really gonna matter in the scheme of things, but realizing it truly does. So with that, take a nice deep breath and exhale it out. And feel free to sway in any way, side to side a little bit. Keep the back of the knees soft, taking some nice deep breaths, exhaling it out, and just noticing how you feel this morning. A lot of my lovely friends in Florida and some North Carolina are just bone tired from all the cleanup lately. But just tap into that. Imagine if you could get the tap roots from the earth to move up into the legs, into the hips, into the shoulders and chest, and strengthen you and help you feel steady on your feet. And then allow your eyes to open. Take the stance a little bit wider, still comfortable, not too wide, and maybe feel the heels of the feet just press out a little bit, right? So it's almost like you're trying to spread the legs apart without actually doing that. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend your knees and come on down. And then bend the knees and inhale up. Good. Exhale, slow. Keep the knees soft the whole time. Inhale. Exhale it down. And take it up. Last one. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, one hand down, the other one reaches over. Inhale it up. Exhale the other way. Inhale it up. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, everybody. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, one hand down. Inhale it up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, take it down. Last one. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, one hand down. Inhale it up. Exhale the other way. Inhale it up. Exhale, soft knees hang out right here. If you have your blocks nearby and you'd like to use the blocks, Please do that. Don't hang just without any support. I'll turn sideways here. Make sure your hands are touching something, whether it's your legs, the blocks, the floor, and sway the hips side to side, just side to side. Take a really deep breath here and soften as you move into this forward fold, keeping those knees soft the whole time, pressing the heels out gently. And then bend the knees and sit way back, way, way back. Take your hands to your knees, look up and stand up. Take the arms up. Exhale them right to your heart. Good. Shake that out, everybody. Come on up to the front of your mat. Again, have your blocks where you can get to them. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Come on down to a squat. Press the hips back, the legs straighten, the fingers come to the floor. The head tilts down. And then bend the knees, look up, take the arms up, chair pose already. Here we go. And then stand all the way up. Exhale the hands down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Sit way back. Take those hands to the floor. You can straighten the legs here. Let the head hang. And then bend the knees. Look up, everybody. Get that chest moving in that direction. Take the arms up. Tone in through the belly. Sitting back in chair pose. Stand all the way up. Exhale, hands down. Got one more just like that. Take it up. Exhale, hands to heart. Take it all the way to the floor. Feel those lovely hamstrings just opening up nice and wide. Bend the knees, look up, take the arms up, sit back in chair, press the feet away from each other, stand all the way up. Exhale to your heart and shake that out. Just shake that out. And then take the blocks up nice and high and walk the feet back just a little bit, just so it's comfortable. Take the right foot and step it back, but only a little bit. If I were to gauge, it's maybe the distance of one block, maybe not even quite that much. And hold here. So your back foot is slightly turned out. Your front foot is straight ahead. The front hip is pressing deeply back and maybe externally rotating a little bit. So we're going to play here a bit today. I want you to look at your front foot. Does it feel even on the floor? And one way that I can tell is if I lift all my toes and notice if I'm leaning to the outside of the foot or the inside of the foot. So just see if you can find that level evenness and then press the blocks forward and the torso back or the hips back. So you get really long in your pose here. You should feel that front leg work, and the back knee is bent if that isn't obvious. Good. Breathe and then take it up and square the feet again. Bring that right foot forward. Shake it out. Soften the knees. Step back with your left leg, not too far. That back foot just slightly turns out. The front hip reaches back. Find your breath here and then bring the hips back, bending the back knee, stretching out through the torso. Watch your back here. No rounding in that upper back. Use the blocks. Big deep breath. Release and square the feet. Good. Bend both knees. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to your heart. Good. Release those hands. Take it up. Exhale, hands down to your blocks. Soften the knees, step the right foot back, this time twice that distance. So we're looking at variations here of pyramid pose early in class as we play with the hamstrings, the back of the legs, those hamstrings attached to the sit bone that we hear all kinds of things about. So what happens if we start to lift the sit bone? Draw the pelvis more forward, right? Forward tilt. Both feet are planted. Both knees are soft, even though the legs are straight. Find your breath here. Soften the shoulders. Bend the back knee and lean back. Go easy here. Pressing into the big toe mound of your front foot, stretching both torso and hamstring. And then release, square the feet, step that foot forward, soften the legs, and go to the other side, stepping the left foot back about twice that first variation. Square the hips. On this side for me, that right hip wants to roll forward, so I have to roll the right hip back. Lengthen the torso, soften the elbows, the shoulders, press into the feet, everybody. And then bend the back knee, keeping those hands lightly on your blocks. Watch the hammies, don't overdo here. And release, step forward, feet or hips width apart, bend the knees, inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale to your heart and let go. Shake that out. How's the back of the legs feeling already? It's like, woo. All right, got some fire there, right? Got some opening there. So we're going to do one more. Take it up. Exhale, hands to your blocks. Soften the knees. Step that right foot back, way back, almost in lunge, not quite so deep. Square the left hip, right? That left hip and pelvis so that your left knee, left foot are pointing straight ahead. Push into the back foot. Lengthen the torso. Don't worry about going down to the leg. Think about laying that torso over an imaginary table and feeling this big old stretch here. Do not overdo it. Keep it softer rather than deeper. Breathe. Bend the back knee if you want to try that and see what happens. Press into the big toe mound. Breathe. And then straighten the back leg. Feel free to lower the torso if your hamstrings are willing. Bend your front knee, step forward. Bring those blocks back up to the higher level if you lowered them. And let's go right to the other side. Step it back. It's a nice long pose. The back foot is slightly turned out. The arms are reaching forward on the blocks a little bit. The hip squares, that front hip squares, really both hips kind of square. Breathe, soften the elbows. Bend the back knee. Interesting, on this side, the back knee doesn't want to bend unless I lift the heel. So I'm going to lift the heel, see what happens. Breathe. And then straighten the back leg, soften and lower only if it makes sense in your body, right? This is a lot of work early in class, so go gently. Bend your front knee, step forward, everybody. Woo, yeah, feel those hammies. Bend both knees, inhale all the way up. Exhale to your heart, whew, and shake that out. Got warm already. Warm already. Good. Breathe, everybody. Just shake that out. So we stretch the hamstrings a lot in yoga. How do we strengthen the hamstrings, right? So if we do a forward fold, then that stretches them. If we bend, it strengthens them, right? It engages those hamstrings. So let's see what we can do there. Feet again, hips width apart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, chair pose. Find that breath, right? Press the feet away from each other. Notice, take your hands to your thighs and push down on those thighs and make the legs heavy. And imagine that you're going to try to straighten the legs as you keep them bent, right? So now the hamstrings are working a little bit harder. Good. Take those hands to your blocks. Keep the knees bent. You're going to keep the right foot on the floor. Lift your left foot. Yep, just lift, hold. Lower that foot down. Plant both feet, lift the right foot. Hamstrings having to work here to hold this position. Lower that foot, Stay where you are. Lift the left foot. Keep the right knee bent and extend the left leg out. Keep the right knee bent. Ooh, yeah. Release. Put that foot back where it was. Keep the left foot on the floor. Lift the right foot. Maybe you stay there. Maybe you extend that right leg out, keeping the left foot bent. Ooh, and put that one down. Bend both knees. Inhale all the way up. Exhale to your heart. Feel your legs. No kidding, right? Good. Breathe. Release those hands. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, squat down. Hands to blocks, knees are soft. Keep the right foot where it is. Peel the left foot off. Keep the right knee bent. Extend the left leg out. Notice where you have the weight in your right foot. Try to keep it in the center, not way up at the toes. And then straighten the right leg. Find your breath. That's it. Bend your right knee. Step forward with your left. Bend both. Inhale all the way up. Exhale. My friends out there said their legs were already tired. I'm so sorry. Release. Inhale. Exhale. Soft knees. Come on down. Take your hands to your blocks. Keep the knees bent. Lift your right foot. Peel it off. Maybe you stay there. That is awesome work. Or keeping the left leg bent, straighten the right leg out behind you. Breathe. Keep the center weight on that left foot. And then maybe straighten the left foot. And breathe. Release. Bend both knees. Set that right foot down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale your hands to your heart. Release. Shake all that out. Shake it out. Whew. And breathe. Your blocks are still there right at the front of your mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to your blocks. Listen up carefully, right? Because the blocks get tippy when they're up high. Bend both knees and step way back to a nice solid lunge. Now, you can go low lunge here. You can drop the knee or you can keep it high. But what I want you to feel is the leveling of the pelvis, right? So that back leg's hip maybe has to come forward a little bit. The front leg's hip maybe has to come back. We're finding this really strong lunge. Press into the back foot, tone the lower belly. Take your hands to your knee. Lift your chest. Bend the back knee. Inhale the arms up. And breathe. Take a nice deep breath here. Notice. Take your hands to your heart. Straighten the back leg. Just notice, right? Because there's a real key there. When the back knee is bent, for many of us, the torso gets taller. When the back leg is straight, the torso is going to come forward. That has to do with your front quads and psoas muscle. And if it's super tight, you're going to lean forward as the leg straightens. So just see where you go here, right? Breathe. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, hands to your blocks. Walk your blocks forward a little bit. Push off your back foot and step forward. Bend both knees. Inhale up. Exhale to your heart. Let those hands go. Find your breath. Second side, take it up. Exhale, take it down. Whew. Soften the knees. Left foot steps all the way back to a lunge. Same thing while you got the blocks, play with the hips. Is your front knee rolling in toward the middle? Is your foot rolling into the middle or really leaning out to the side? Can you find that levelness in the foot, in the hips? Belly tones in, push into your back foot. Hands to knee, lift the chest some, bend the back knee, lift the chest more. Take the arms up. Find your breath. You got it, right? No problem here. Easy peasy. Hands to heart. Straighten the back leg a little more. There's that stretch. Ooh, no kidding. And release hands to your blocks. Maybe walk them forward. Push off. Bend both knees. Inhale all the way up. Exhale to your heart. Go ahead, just shake the legs, shake the legs. So today is mostly going to be a standing practice. We're going to play here and just see where we go before we take it to the floor. So just stretch it out, shake it out. And when you're ready, come on back. Maybe close the eyes, maybe find mountain pose, shoulders back, belly toned, but not overly tight. And then inhale, lift up. Exhale, hands to heart, chair pose. Reach the arms as an option. Breathe. Press the hips back. Take your hands to your blocks. Step back just one block's width back. We were doing this right at the beginning. Just shake the hips a little bit. You have 3 hamstring muscles. They all attach to the sit bone. So you might feel the inner hamstring more than the outer or vice versa. Bend both knees. Step back another third. We were here this morning, so you're a little further back. Wiggle those hips a little bit. Bend both knees. Step back all the way pyramid pose or a longer pyramid pose. The back foot still dropped. Breathe. Lengthen the torso. Level out your pelvis. Breathe. Bend both knees, step back to lunge. So even longer now, both feet are pointing forward. Find your breath. Take your hands to your knee. Bend the back knee, lift the torso, take it up. Find your breath. Squeeze that back glute, everybody. Exhale, hands to heart. Straighten the back leg. Keep the chest lifted to your level, right? If you're super tight at the front of that back leg, you're going to lean a little more forward. Hands come to your blocks. Listen up. This one's tricky. You're going to short hop up and then walk your blocks forward and lift the back leg. Yep, a lot of leg work today. Find your breath. Bend both knees and just step down, both feet level. Bend both knees. Inhale, take it up. Exhale. Breathe. Let those hands go. Bring the blocks back into play. Let's do second side. Everybody okay over there? Inhale, reach up. Exhale, take it down. Bend the knees, take your hands to your heart, chair pose. Woo. Reach the arms as an option, don't have to. And then take those hands to your blocks. Left foot steps back just about a block's width back. The hips level out. Maybe you wiggle a little bit. Maybe you play. Bend both knees. Step back a little further. Make sure the feet are hips width apart. Shoulders are soft away from your ears. You're not over relying on the blocks. And breathe. Bend both knees. Step that back even further. Going for quite a long pyramid pose. Straightening the front leg. Breathe. Bend both knees. Step back even more. Finding a lunge, front knee bent, back leg straight, back glute active. You got this. Hands to knee. Start to lift the chest, bend the back knee, lift the chest a little bit more, take the arms up. Smile. Let all that stale oxygen, energy, carbon dioxide, let it all go. Just breathe it out, everybody. And then take your hands to your blocks. You're going to short hop forward, walk the blocks forward, and lift that leg again as an option. Don't have to do that. Breathe. And lower that foot next to the other. Bend both knees, take both hands to your mat and step back downward facing dog, which should feel really good right about now. If you would like to go to a child's pose here instead, feel free to do that. We're just going to hang here, let the legs recover some. Find that stretch through the front body, through the whole side torso. Bend the knees, step wide on your mat. Walk those hands back. Hands to knees, lift up, stand up, and shake that out. Just shake it out. Feet are roughly hips width apart, maybe a little bit wider. One hand will slide down the leg as the other one comes up. Smile, stretch. And release. Take that hand down the leg. Don't overdo. Breathe. And center. Release both arms. Take the feet just slightly wider, and all I want you to do is twist. So you're going to let the foot pivot. Let those feet pivot as you twist. Yep. And kind of let the arms swing around you. Good. The next time you have twisted to your right, go ahead and hold and just wrap your arms around. So what your left foot is pivoted. You're just looking behind you. You're creating a little twist here. And then circle or go side to side again. And the next time you are over to the left, pause there, like you're freeze framed, wrapping those arms around, looking behind you, seeing what's happening. And back to center, everybody. Good job. Shake it all out. Back to your blocks. I know we won't do this for a whole hour and 15 minutes, but we're going to do a fair amount. So you're here, right? Feel that. In fact, grab one of your blocks. Just take it between the legs and give the legs a good squeeze. Keep the back of the knees soft. Find your breast, shoulders are back, chest is lifted. Breathe. And then let that go. Go ahead and put the block down. We're going to add on to what we've been doing, so you already know the whole first part. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart, sit back. Lift the arms as an option, chair pose. Release, hands to your blocks. The legs straighten but stay soft. Right foot steps back just barely, right? Just that block's width apart. Front leg straightens, the hips reach back evenly. My back knee is soft. Release that, bend both knees, step back 2/3 of the way. Torso is long. Breathe. Release that, step back further. So now we're in this really long pyramid, the front leg straight, the back leg slightly turned out, the hands resting on your blocks, but not overweighted. And then bend the knees, step back to a lunge. Breathe. Your right hand block, I'm going to lower mine for more stability. Your right hand stays on the block, the left arm goes up. So now we're in a twist. Don't overdo it. Keep that integrity in the shoulder. Don't overreach that arm back. Find your stretch. And then circle that arm back behind you and back to your block. Good. Listen up. You're going to drop your back foot to the side position. Just shorten it a little bit. You're going to take the right, or actually just take both blocks and reach forward. Front leg is straight. This is where it gets a little tricky. So this is a variation of reverse triangle. Your front hip draws back. Your right hand stays on your block. We're moving that block forward instead of by the foot. And then I'm going to lift the left shoulder, keeping that hand on my hip. Press through both legs. Feel good here. Stay here. Want to go for a little bit more. Take that top arm up. Reverse triangle with an extended forward arm. So Celeste, if you brought your right arm forward, right hand forward, yeah, created a little more space. And if you could, drop your back heel. Turn it in and drop. Yeah, you're probably a little long. And everybody release, hands to blocks. Straighten your back foot and step forward. Bend both knees, inhale all the way up. And exhale. Good, shake it out, everybody. So what happens in reverse triangle, and that's a tough pose, and we're doing a variation of it already, is when we would normally, so if I show you on this side, so normally your hand, your block is on the, really normally it's on the outside of the foot, but that's another class. So if your hand is here, right, inside that foot, to get the twist, it can be really almost confining. It's a little unsteady. So instead, we're going to walk the block forward and give ourselves all the space, right? To get there feels way more steady. And then we can play with the arms. So that's kind of the idea behind moving the blocks forward. Does that make sense? Yeah. All right. So back to the front of your mat, second side. You would think we already did the second side, right? Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart, chair pose. Arms reach, optional. Release both hands to your blocks. Just slide the right foot back a little bit. Play with the hips, front leg straight, back leg soft. Bend both knees, step back 2/3 of the way. Here we are again. Play, wiggle, feel, notice. Bend both knees, step back even further. If you can, drop that back heel. Toes are turned out slightly. Soften the torso. Bend both knees, step back into lunge. Yep, you got it. Oh, shoot, am I on the same side? I am. Everybody step forward. Unless you already caught that and you're already on the other side. My bad. So sorry. All right. Right foot stays forward. Left foot goes back. Wiggle those hips. I feel like I have to fast forward now. Good. Breathe. Like something feels very familiar there. Bend both knees. Step the left foot back a little more. Sorry about that. Soft, soft, soft on those hands. Remind yourself that you can lift the hands. Bend both knees, step back even longer. Back heel is dropped if your ankle allows. Soften the shoulders. Bend both knees, find your lunge. Go back even more if that makes sense for you. Nice long torso. Maybe drop your left hand block to the second level. And then take the right arm up, coming into a twist. Just breathe soft. Circle the arm back and back to your blocks. Here we are on this side. Shorten your stance a little bit and drop your back heel. The front leg straightens. You're going to walk the left hand block forward so that you got lots and lots of room in that torso. The right hip draws back. The right hand can come to your hip and look to the right and just see how that feels. That might be more than enough for you. Or take the right arm up toward the sky. Breathe, release, step forward. Holy moly. As you come up, keep one block with you. Stand all the way up. Take that block between the legs. Give it a good squeeze. Good. Shake out everything else. Take the arms out. Keep squeezing the block the whole time. Cross elbows. I have my right under my left, not mirroring. So just so you know. Good. Shake out the head. And then circle the elbows. So even though that whole part of class was pretty leg centric, the arms take a lot of that weight as well. The shoulders circle the other way. Come back to the center. Notice which elbow is on the bottom. Inhale up. Exhale out to the side. Crisscross other way. Ooh, shake out the head. Notice which side is tighter. Give those a circle. Circle the other way. Come back to the middle. Release. Inhale, lift up. Exhale all the way down. Circle that out. Good. I'll mirror here, left arm straight up. Pat yourself on the back. Take the right arm out. Internal rotation to help bring that hand behind you. Don't overreach. Keep the knees soft, by the way. Still squeezing your block, by the way, just in case you forgot. Whew. And release, release, shake those out. Other side, take your right arm up, pat yourself on the back, take the left arm out. Internal rotation, it just helps get that arm behind. And then maybe the fingers walk up, the hand walks up. Maybe you touch fingers, maybe you don't. Big deep breath. And notice how quickly, right, we recover, even if the work was a little taxing. Good. And release. Whew. And release. And shake that out. And take your block out. Bring it back to the front of your mat. We are almost done, my darlings, with this, with this portion. All right. So you're in front of your blocks. You are in mountain pose. The breath is moving through your body, releasing all that tension. Inhale, reach up. Hands to heart, chair pose. Chair pose. Breathe. Extend out through the arms if that makes sense to you. Keep sitting way back. Release that hands to your blocks, straightening the legs. Walk your blocks forward. Bend the knees. Lift and lengthen the left leg. So this is a variation of Warrior 3. The hips are relatively square. The belly pulls in. Pull the belly in, low belly in, so that the lower back doesn't sag. Only if you want, release the right arm back toward your hip. Bring that hand back to your block. Bend the front knee and step the left leg back. Walk your blocks back with you. Drop that back heel if you can. Straighten the front leg if you can. Bring the left hand block closer to the inside of the foot. Now, so the first variation we did was way out forward. I love that variation. This time we're bringing the block, left hand block inside the right foot, planting the hand there, pushing our torso away from that block, and then taking the right hand to the right hip. Notice the difference here. And then maybe we extend the arm up. Breathe. Release that hand. Both hands to both blocks. Bend your front knee, step forward. Feet or hips width apart, the blocks walk forward. Peel the right foot off the mat. Stretch it back, variation of warrior three. Level the hips here. Really tempting to lift that right hip higher. Only if you want, extend the left arm back. So you have only 2 points of contact here, your left foot, your right hand. Release that hand to your block, bend the front knee, step the right leg back, walk the blocks back so that it makes sense in your body. Your right hand block goes inside your left foot. Your feet are hips width apart. If you're narrower than that, it's even trickier. Left hand goes to left hip, and you turn and look to the left. Maybe that's where you stay. When I extend my arm here, I really notice a difference. So I'm not going to push it. I'm just going to extend the arm a little bit. I'm not going to try to get it up to the ceiling. It's more of the diagonal, front leg straight. Release that hand. Woo-hoo, I know that was tricky. Good. Breathe and step forward. Bend both knees. Inhale all the way up, everybody. Exhale to your heart. Close the eyes. Just feel all that sensation in your legs. Good. And then simple forward fold. Just come on down. You can keep your blocks with you or you can set them to the side. We'll need one later. So just the simple forward fold. Bend the knees, plant your feet or plant your hands, step back, downward facing dog, and then just bend one knee and then the other knee. Pedal it all out. And then hold that down dog, solid, strong, steady. Float your body to plank and breathe. Lower your knees to the floor. Maybe take those knees wide, come into child's pose. If child's pose is not your idea of a good time, please come onto your backs and draw your knees to your chest. We're going to be moving there very shortly, but we're just getting a little resting pose. So find the one that works for you. Just breathe. If you're in child's pose, go ahead and release that. You're just going to get those legs out from under you. Have a block where you can reach it. Maybe you're strapped too, by the way, just in case. And come on down to your backs. Oh, that probably feels really good right now. And pause here. Your feet are on the floor, your knees are bent. And I want you to just rock your knees side to side. Your feet don't have to be wide. Just rock a little side to side. You're rolling over the sacrum and into the upper glute muscles. Should feel good. And then take the feet wider. Let the knees get a little wider. They don't have to come all the way down. Just shaking out some of the work we just did. Catch your breath. Good. Couple more. Just easy here. Don't overdo. And then bring the knees back to center. Bring the feet back to center. Draw your left knee to your chest. Ooh. Straighten the leg up toward the ceiling. Breathe. And then bend the knee, straighten the right leg. You can hold that knee behind the knee to lessen the compression on the knee. Straighten the left leg and then bend it. Good, just one more here. And bend it. Bring your right knee to your chest. The left foot goes to the floor. Hold it there. Take the hands behind your right knee and straighten that leg up toward the ceiling. Good. Straighten the left leg. Hold. And then bend the right knee and straighten. One more time. Bend and straighten. Bring the knee to chest. Bring your left knee to chest. Both feet to the floor. Grab your block. You're going to take that block if you can. Now, this is going to be a knee issue for some, so don't do it if it hurts. You're going to take that block behind your knee and squeeze it. Just squeeze it. Hold on to it. And then you're going to bring the left foot to the floor and back up again. That's all. So we're working with the hamstring. We're tightening it up after all that big stretching. All you're doing is tapping the heel of your left foot, bringing the knee back to chest. Couple more. That's it. And then bring the left knee to your chest. Take your block. If you can, you're going to hold it between the back of your heel and the back of your thigh. So a little trickier. You're going to squeeze that baby in. You're going to hold on to it if you can, and then straighten the right leg. Whew. And feel the left leg working. Yep, just hang on to it. Just press the back of the heel. Take hands behind your head, and only if you want, lift your head. So we've added a little core to the hamstring. Lift the right leg only if you want. Little more core to the hamstring. Breathe, squeeze that block into your leg. Find that. Lower everything. Grab the block. Woo, straighten the left leg all the way to the floor. So if we only stretch those hamstrings, we create a real imbalance there. We've got to be willing to strengthen those hamstrings as well. Good. Bend both knees, everybody. Take that block behind the right knee. Just squeeze it in, hold on to it. Your left foot stays on the floor. And then tap the right heel and bring it to your chest. Just play here. The more you squeeze, the more the hamstring gets activated. But don't make it hurt because sometimes those corners of the block can be a little tender. Good. Bring it in. Tap the heel. Just two more. Good. And then bring that knee closer to chest. Take the block and wedge it between the back of your heel and the back of your thigh. Squeeze it in and then straighten the left leg. Ooh, yeah. Breathe. Optional, hands go behind your head. The head, chest lifts. Don't pull on the head. Hang on to your block. If optional again, lift the left leg. Hold. Ooh. Feeling that besides me? Yeah. And breathe, breathe, breathe. Good. Lower the leg, lower the foot, grab your block, straighten the right leg, set your block on the side for a moment. Just shake that out. Bend both knees, both feet on the floor. Feet are hips width apart. The tailbone is long. The sacrum is long. Teeny space behind the lower back. Good. I want you not to lift, but just pull the heels of your feet back toward your hips and feel the legs. Ooh, hamstrings again. If you reach behind the thighs and you feel the hamstrings, you can feel them getting active. And then push the heels away. And then pull them back and in. Ooh, If you cramp up, straighten the legs and then push the legs away. Good. One more. Pull the heels in toward your hips and push them away. And then come back to that lengthened tailbone. Feet are on the floor, elbows to shoulders are on the floor. And the fingertips point up to the ceiling. So little robot arms. Pressing the shoulders down. Press into your feet. Lift the hips just a couple of inches, just a couple inches. I want you to lengthen your tailbone as if you were going to flatten your back, but then try to pull the heels back toward your hips. Yep, hamstrings again. Press into the back of the arms. Try to keep the legs and lift the hips a little bit more. Lengthening the tailbone, but pulling the heels of the feet back. Good. Lift more if you can. Breathe. Lengthen your tailbone. Pull the heels back. Find your breath. One more lengthened tailbone. Press the heels back. Lift the hips. And slowly, slowly lower. Draw your knees to your chest. Stretch it out. Feet back to the floor. We're almost done with all of this. One, you're going to keep 2 feet on the floor. You're going to work with bridge from there. 2, hands go down to your sides, pressing the full arm shoulder back to the floor. Take the left leg and lift it up to the ceiling. If your hammies are still tight for some reason, keep the knee bent. Doesn't have to be straight. I want you to press into your right foot, pull the heel back, lengthen your tailbone, and lift the hips off the floor. Breathe. Notice. Don't have to go high here. Want the integrity of the pose, not the height or how it looks. And then lower those hips all the way down. Release that left leg, both feet to the floor. So once again, options, keep both feet down or lift the right leg either with a bent knee or a straight leg. Press the shoulders into the floor, everybody. Lift your hips and hold. And breathe. Pull the heel of your left foot back gently. Feel that hamstring. Work to sustain this pose. And lower all the way down. Whew. Both knees to chest. Nice deep breath. Both feet to the floor. Last one, I promise. All right, lengthen that tailbone. Get the sacrum nice and long. Hands can be down or in robot. Press into the feet. Lift your hips to bridge pose. Lengthen your tailbone. Pull the heels back. So we're going to pulse for 5. So pulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lower and tap the hips, but then come right back up. Lift up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Tap it down. Lift up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last set. Tap it down and lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and lower down, everybody. Well done. Take your knees to your chest. Cross your ankles. Inhale here. Exhale, bring your chin to your knees as tight or loose as you would like, just stretching out that lower back. And release. Uncross your ankles, your feet to the floor. Take the left foot above the right knee to figure 4. And then draw your knees toward your chest. Just stretching that out, everybody. Maybe circle the right ankle while you're there. And circle the other way. Breathe, pressing the ankle into the thigh just a little bit, just gentle here. And then cross the left knee all the way over the right. Bring both knees toward chest. Deep breath. Release those legs. Take the right ankle above the left knee. Draw the knees toward the chest. You're pressing that right knee away from your body as the left knee presses in. It's all a very gentle dance here. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Maybe circle the left ankle and circle the other way. And then cross knees and bring both knees toward your chest, feeling that nice, lovely stretch of the hip there. Good. Release those legs. Place the feet on the floor. Grab your block and lift the hips and take the block at the lowest level underneath your sacrum. Just let that sacrum rest on your block. Pause right here. So this is a restorative bridge pose. And one choice would be to just stay here, let your arms rest either on your belly or on the floor. Or second choice could be to bring the knees toward your chest and then extend them up, coming into a variation of legs up the wall. The arms, upper body, chest, shoulders, all relaxed, feeling the weight and the support of the floor. The breath flows so nice and easy. We just breathe here. And maybe we remember that our thread in the tapestry of this life really is important and really is a part of the bigger picture. Soften and allow the weight of your body to ground you. Couple more breaths right here. As you're ready, bend the knees and bring them in toward chest. Place one foot on the floor and then the other foot on the floor. Pause here, bridge pose. And then press into your feet. Lift your hips, move the block out of the way. Lower your hips to the floor. And then straighten the legs. Keep the legs hips width apart for a moment. The hands are down on the floor. I want you to squeeze the hips and the legs and press your body into the floor. So heels are digging in, shoulders are pressed back. Squeeze everything through the hips and glutes, and then let go. Good. Again, bringing the feet to hips width, toes pointing up. This time, turn the palms face up. Squeeze back body. This time, squeeze the hands, the fists, curl it all up, pressing strongly into the floor as you lift the body away from the floor and let it all go. Good. One more. Squeeze, press, curl the fingers, maybe scrunch the face as a final. And exhale. And then let the legs go wide on your mat. Let the feet splay out. And grab a blanket. Finding Shavasana after that standing, mostly standing practice. So let that Shavasana be comfortable, keeping the knees bent if your back is asking you to do so, but then letting all of that go. And as you imagine your part of the tapestry, see how it weaves into that bigger picture of the people in your lives, the important things in your lives, where you stand, how you feel, all of that weaving in this beautiful, beautiful tapestry. The jaw softens, the belly softens. And we come very simply to the breath, just breathing in and breathing out. And soften down even more. Let go of the thoughts. For those of you who are ready, just start to wiggle those toes. Maybe bend the knees. Allow your feet to come to the floor. And just feel the state of your body, mind, heart at the end of your practice. Feel the grounding of your feet. Draw those knees toward your chest. Rock side to side. Allow the knees to release to one side or the other, rolling over to fetal pose. And then gently press up, coming to your seat, our first seat in class. Good. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale them to your heart. Bow to your own inner wisdom. Allow this to be the start of a very, very good day. Namaste, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Have a great day, everybody.